another reading vlog. That is a good like, comment, subscribe. Oh my god. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren and this is Lauren's Library. Today I'm starting my Blackoween readathon reading vlog. The first book I'm starting with is Within These Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood. And this will take care of the fifth prompt, I'm sorry, at Ruby Cruise Park, a book when a character gets infected. I'm hoping, because I've heard that there's like a possession or something in this book, so I'm hoping that that's true. All the rumors were true and that this is actually about a possession so that I can take care of that prompt, but we'll see. So I'm going to start off with this book tonight. I'm starting off this reading vlog or readathon late. Today is October 9th. So, oh, you can't see the date. So, I'm like a week behind. But that must mean that I'm going to have an extra week added on after these 3 weeks are over, after October is done, into November. But we'll see. We'll see how much I get done. And I'll check in with y'all once I get a little ways into Within These Wicked Walls. Okay, y'all, the book I'm starting with for this reading vlog is Within These Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood. I'm read to page 98. So in this book, we follow a girl named Andromeda, and she's been hired to the Thorn Manor, which is a haunted mansion owned by this guy named Magnus, who has inherited a curse from his father that was placed on his father by his mother, where this manor is haunted and is trying to kill him and his staff. Everybody's going missing one by one in his staff. And she's been hired because they've hired other, there's a title, let me think. They're called Deteras. Andromeda is a Detera, or she was being trained to be one, but who she was being trained by stopped training, and so now she's unlicensed. And so she's trying to cure this home of its hauntings, or in the book they're called manifestations, in order to be able to gain her license. So they're trying to experiment with an unlicensed Terra to see if this time it works. So far I'm liking the writing style. Everything's moving in a very good pace. Yeah, I like our main character. The mystery of it all is mystery. Yeah, so there are a lot of secrets we don't know yet, like why. I'm assuming that the owner of the manor, Magnus, he said that his mom placed a curse on his father because he abandoned his family. And he's also mentioned that he doesn't get along well with people in England because he doesn't pass as white. So I'm curious as to his backstory, and then Andromeda, our main character, as to why her mentor chose not to continue training her in order for her to get her license. It's just a lot of stuff that we don't know quite yet, and that I'm excited to get to know about our characters, and mystery background characters as well that are kind of mysterious and just there at the moment. They're like, something's off about them, but we don't know 100% what it is. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, and I'll update you all when I have something else to update you on. Hi everyone, I'm back with an update for you. Last night I finished Within These Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood. Final thoughts on this. I really enjoyed the beginning. There were some points in the middle and towards the end that kind of were dragging for me. And so the story, I think I gave y'all like a little one in my previous update, but so we're following this girl named Andromeda. She has recently been kicked out from her mentor's home because, well, I guess that's kind of like a spoiler, but she's been kicked out. We don't know why. So he was mentoring her in a craft of Debtera, Debtera, where they create amulets to protect people from different ailments or things that are going on in their life, or demons in this case, or a possession, which they call the evil eye or manifestations. And so in order to get back on her feet after being kicked out from her mentor's place, she goes to a mansion called Thorn Palace, where there is a young man there who is the heir to this chocolate empire, who has been, the evil eye has been passed down to him from his father. This curse like is affecting the entire mansion, the entire household. People are going missing, the people that work for him. Nobody really knows why. They've had 10 previous Deteras come and try to cleanse this house or mansion. So Andromeda is the latest Debtera to take a try at cleansing this mansion. So the whole time you're reading this, you have this eerie feeling. Like when you read other books like fantasy novels or anything like that, fantasy novels I feel like specifically, even though this isn't quite a fantasy, you have this, you know, there's a lot of trials and tribulations going on, but you know that there's going to be a happily ever after. They may lose people on the way, but you know at the end they're all going to come out and survive, right? That's usually how they go. But while reading this one, I felt like there wasn't going to be a happy ending. I won't disclose if that is true or not, but there's like this eerie feeling that follows you throughout the pages of this book, even when things are seemingly going well. When Andromeda, she's doing these spells, creating these amulets and hanging them up around the house in order to protect it and cleanse it, there's still this feeling of something's not going to go right, something's going to reverse all of this help that she has been creating within this household. And with all of her cleansing of all of these manifestations from the evil eye, she also develops a romance with the heir, or the guy that is possessed or cursed. What was his name? Magnus. And there's like this romance that it starts out really slow, but then it's like a whirlwind, and they're saying they love each other. So that's also what made me feel eerie, like something isn't right here. And so but once you get to the end, I'm trying to say how to say everything without spoiling it, but okay, so I don't know how to say it without giving everything away. But the ending wasn't what I expected. I'll say that. And y'all, I'm trying not to spoil it. I'm trying not to spoil it. But I like how I somewhat appreciate how we got to where we got at the end. So that's why on Goodreads I rated it 4 stars, but it's kind of teetering on a 3.5, 3.5 stars, and that's mainly because of, maybe it's because it's a YA, but I feel like it could have gone darker, and because of that eerie feeling I was feeling throughout the book, where when things weren't going right, it still felt like there was something in the background that we were missing. And I feel like if this was not a young, because I thought this was an adult novel, but it's a YA, and it literally says it right there. I wasn't paying attention. But since it didn't go the way that I was expecting it to go, that's why I'm giving it 4 stars, because I'm not the author, so I can't expect it to go exactly how I want it to go in my brain. But so that's why I gave it a 4 stars. But I still feel like if this was an adult novel, that eerie feeling that I felt reading this book could have come to more of a fruition at the end of the book, if that makes any sense. I was trying not to say too much while giving away too much, but I gave this 3.5 stars within these wicked walls. And I'm not sure what I want to read next. It's between the conductors, or the Year of the Witching. I'm not sure which one. And you know what? I think I'm going to do the conductors. Since I read a hardback, I'm going to read a paperback this time. So I'll come back to you all with an update once I start reading this one. I'll probably come back after I wash my hair because I need to wash my hair. So I'll come back to y'all when I have gotten somewhat into this book. All right, see y'all later.
I'll see you guys again.
Hey y'all, I'm here for another update. Going around a turn. First off, I just left the Vina Art Market here it's in Denton. And first of all, I've never been to this area of Denton. Very interesting, but I think they have it a different place every year. Well, this was my first time. I didn't buy anything. I really didn't see anything that spoke to me. Maybe next time, because I want to come back next time and see. And I think, first of all, I should have come like as soon as they opened, because it was a lot of people. There were a lot of people there, and as soon as you walk in, it's like a wave of must. Like, some people were musty. And at first I was like, maybe it's because it's an old building or something, because it was like a civic center or something. But then I started walking through the crowd, and people didn't have deodorant on. Not a lick. I don't think they attempted to put deodorant on. It was awful. And it was like supposed to be like a costume thing, but I didn't wear one. And a lot of people weren't wearing one, but I don't want to blame it on the costume wearing people, but somebody was musty. A lot of somebodies. A whole bunch of bodies was musty. But anyway, I didn't get anything. I was going, my reason for going is Christmas gifts, but I really didn't see anything that my people would want there. And then I wanted stickers, because I'm trying to get some stickers to decorate my laptop, but I didn't see anything that spoke to me. But last night I did read about 50 pages, probably a little bit over 50 pages of The Conductors after I washed my hair. And initial thoughts, the writing style isn't as very easy to dive into. Like, you know, when you read a book and you're just like immersed in the world, I haven't had that quite yet, but it's very interesting. And we're set in the 1860s, 1870s. Enslaved people some enslaved people have magic abilities, and while they were enslaved, they were collared in order to stop them from using their magic. And we're following, let me just tell you about our main characters. We're following this married couple, Henrietta and Benjamin. They both were escaped enslaved peoples who are now dedicated to the work of helping black people who are in danger and trouble, because there's something going on. It really hasn't been explained, where black people are getting kidnapped. They haven't really found the reason yet, but they're investigating and looking into it. But they're married. I feel like Henrietta is more of our main character more than Benjamin. We may have more of his perspective later on in the book, but right now we've only really been in Henrietta's perspective. But they both each have their own magic abilities, and they use their abilities to help people in their community. Well, and then but a conspiracy Henrietta has about why white people are trying to kidnap black people is because she thinks that they're using like the bones of black people, magical black people, to create wands, and wands really haven't been explained either just yet. But I think that the wands are enchanted or something to allow white people to have magic. I don't know yet. But Henrietta has this conspiracy that the wands are made out of black people's bodies, but we haven't really delved into that yet. The storyline we're focused on really right now is Henrietta was approached by this what do you call them, politician in their community named Charles, who is the husband of someone she used to be friends with. And when he approaches her, she's like, he's very off-putting, and she knows something is up with him, but she's just not really in the mood to hear him out. And she lets her husband know, and they're like, oh, he'll come back to us some other time. But it turns out somebody knocks on their door one night and reporting a dead body, and it turns out it's Charles' body. So that's literally where I left off last night. But so far I'm intrigued to keep reading. The only holdback is, like I said, it's not writing that you just sink into once you start reading. I'm probably gonna have to read a good chunk of it today, which I probably will when I get home, in order to just delve into this world, in order to let it wash all over me, so I can really like feel like I'm not reading but I'm in it, if that makes sense. But that's all the update I have right now. I'm on my way home. I'm disappointed I didn't find anything at the little art market, but it looks like the people who were there did find. Everybody had a handful of stuff. Everybody was having a good time. It was nice, and the art was very beautiful. It just was, I didn't find anything because I feel like they're anime specific, and I don't watch a lot of anime, or a reference that I didn't get, so that's mainly why I didn't get anything. But it was nice walking around to look. But I'm on my way home now, and I'll check in back with y'all when I have another update. Hi everyone, I'm back with an update on honestly everything that I read this month. I really didn't do a vlog type of video after like the first couple of books. But how did my month for Blackoween go? So out of the 6 books that were on my TBR, I read 4. And who do we have to blame for that? Run's House. That's what I spent the first 2 weeks of October watching. I didn't read the entire first 2 weeks of October because I was watching Run's House. I wish I could say I was watching something in the Halloween theme, but I was not. I was watching the reality television show Run's House. But in my last update, I was discussing The Conductors by Nicole Glover, and I was talking about how it was hard for me to immerse in this novel. It was kind of the situation where you're reading and then you have to go back and reread because you're not really focusing on what the book is saying, which was very unfortunate because I was very interested in this story. And while I was, when I finished, I was like wondering why it was that I couldn't immerse in this book. And I think it was just very wordy. Like there was like, I remember, I wish I would have tabbed that page that I could go back to it, but there was like, if I was the editor, and that's not my job, I don't want to take anybody's job, but 2 paragraphs on one of these pages could have been taken out. Like it was irrelevant information that we didn't need to know every single detail of this street in Philadelphia that I probably will never go to in my entire life. Like it was just unnecessary information that just made the book wordy. But I really enjoyed everything else that was important. So I feel like if the book was edited in a more concise way, I would have enjoyed this much more. But I did give it 4 stars because I liked the concept of everything, and I will continue reading it. But I just need it to be edited, and I already own the second book, and she's a big chunker too, so I don't think the situation's going to get better. So it's just going to be something I'm going to have to fight through if I want to continue reading through this series. But yes, I gave The Conductors 4 stars. If I don't know if I gave you an idea of what it was about. This follows a married couple, Hetty and Benjamin, or Benji. Ooh, excuse me. And they are escaped slaves. This book takes place in 1800s. It's like right before the Civil War and right after the Civil War. We jump back and forth. But Benji and Hetty are now free. All the slaves are free, and Black Americans in this world have, well, some of them have a magical power that uses the stars and astrology. That's one thing I'm hoping that, well, in the second book is more clear, is that I don't really understand how the magic system works. But Benji and Hetty are some of the Black Americans in this world that have been blessed with magical powers, and they use that in order, when people were still enslaved, they use their powers to help free them and get them to freedom. And now that everyone is free, they're using their powers. They use their powers to solve murders and or help people who are need assistance in any kind of way. Like, there's a side plot of like a girl that's been missing, and her sister needs Hetty's help to help find her sister. But the main plot is that there are bodies showing up with a cursed magic symbol carved into their bodies, and Hetty and Benjamin they want to keep this detail of the murders quiet because they don't want people to panic. And the murder victims are an array of class and backgrounds. Like, we have somebody who is very well known in their Philadelphia Black community, or he's in all of these boards and all these politics, and we have people that are unknown, and then people who are considered like the low dregs of this society. But it was very interesting to read if it was just edited more clearly, where the things that we're meant to know are known, and all of the extra details. I know you want to write beautifully, and I don't think that's the author's fault. I blame the editor, but that's none of my business. I'm not an editor, but that's just how I would do things if I were. But The Conductors, I gave 4 stars. The next 2 books that I read, I haven't given you an update on anything regarding those. You all have no idea that I was reading these, so I'm just gonna go over them and wrap them up now. The next book I read was The Witchery by S. Isabel. This book follows a witch school, I don't know what you would call it, like a school for young witches, like high school aged girls in Florida. And 3 of these girls have been friends. These 3 have been friends since probably their freshman year at this school. And their town that their school is in has been cursed with these wolves, or the haunting, where these wolves come out of the swamp and terrorize the town with murder and all of that. But so they're trying to find someone called the Wolf Boy in order for him to do some magic woohoo to stop these murders. So that's when this new girl Logan comes in, and she's a proxy, and she'll help enhance their powers in order for them to stop these hauntings. I ended up giving this 3 stars. It reminded me a lot of older YA novels, like YA novels I read when I was in middle school. And it was just very reminiscent of that. There are a lot of perspectives. Like, you would think, oh, there are 4 girls on this cover, so these are the girls that we'll get a perspective from. Yes, but additionally 2 more. You have 2 other characters, boy characters from the boarding school in the same town that I just didn't think was necessary. And then I took off a star because I did not like one of these characters, can you guess who? She was very irritating to my soul. It was just very written, very like reminiscent of older YA. But nothing wrong with that, but I gave it 3 stars. And I did try reading the second book. Let me see, what was it? I think it's called The Shadow Coven. But I did not finish that. I DNF'd it. I wasn't interested in continuing on with the series, but yeah, I'm glad I finished reading this because it's always been a cover that I've admired, and I'm glad that I've finished. And lastly, I read The Tenant by Katrina Jackson. Now this book follows this guy who is down on his luck. He's having a hard time. He's been let go from his job. He has a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 roommates. This is hard. A lot of things are going wrong in his life at the moment. And he gets a call one day, and it's from an attorney saying that his Aunt Sophie has left him a home in Alabama that he has been deemed to renovate or restore in this historic town. And he takes the opportunity because what else does he have to lose? And he packs up all of his stuff and moves to Alabama. I forget the name of the town, Alexandria. And so he gets the keys, and he gets to the house, and it's absolutely horrid. There's missing shutters. He just describes it as if it's the worst thing he's ever seen in his life. And so the other perspective we get is Ruby, and Ruby is a former owner of this house, and she was a product of a sexual assault between a master and his enslaved woman. And so Ruby has swindled her way. We followed her perspective in the, what year? 1933, where she swindled her way into inheriting this property from her father. And we jump back and forth of her learning that I have a new tenant in my home that belongs to me, and she's just Noel feels like he's being watched. He feels her presence. He just doesn't know the history of this house because he's never heard of this home before his aunt left it to him. And so Ruby is like, who is this guy? And then it turns out that she is connected to his family, but she just doesn't know how his family ended up inheriting or owning her home. And it's just would you consider it a mystery? It's not really a mystery, but it's fun reading. It's very short. It was fun reading to see how all of the things about this home and Ruby's life and Noel's ancestors' lives that gets revealed through the short 200-page book. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I read it in one sitting. It's only like 210 pages, and I gave it 4 stars. And I look forward to reading more from Ms. Katrina Jackson. And so the 2 books that I did not read this month, I could have done it. I could have done it if it wasn't for that meddling Run's house. Like, I could have done it. But so the 2 books that I did not read this month are The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson and Delicious Monsters by Leslie Samsbury. Now, I did start this one. I just didn't finish it, but I'll get there. I'm on page 18. But I'm probably going to read this. I'm going to read these before the end of 2024. Not 2023. I got other things to read, but I will read these before the end of 2024. But let me look and see what challenges I did complete for Blackoween. I did not have this pulled up. That's my fault. Okay, here we go. So I completed the challenge of A Strong Friendship with The Witchery by S. Isabel. Root Magic, I completed it with The Conductors. There's a character in here named Penelope who's very good with root magic and all those things. A book when a character gets infected within these wicked walls. We did have a character who was possessed with some kind of curse, you say. And then this one, and then the tenant was for my free space. So I think I did pretty well. I did not do all the challenges, but I'll try again next year to see if I succeed. I hope you all enjoy my reading vlog slash wrap up for Blackoween-a-thon. Thank you to the host for doing all the reading sprints. I joined in on some of them. I didn't stay the whole time, but I enjoyed watching and listening to it in the background. So if you enjoyed this video, or if you participated in Blackoween-a-thon, let me know what you read and what challenges you completed down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!